What if there was a game that took your love for cartoons and mixed that in with horror? Well, I would say it's the best game ever. I present to you Bendy and the Ink Machine, a game that will forever ruin your childhood love for cartoons. It's like if Disney turned evil and Mickey Mouse was a giant demon. Now, I have never played this game before, and from what I've seen, the story is dense. It released in 5 chapters, but of course for my playthrough, I'll be doing it all in one sitting, so it's a lot to take in at once. What better way to help me learn than from the Joey Drew Studios Employee Handbook? I will be playing this game exactly how the handbook tells me to, just the way Joey Drew Studios intended. Will this be one of my best horror game experiences, or will I completely lose my mind again? Honestly, I have high hopes. Like I said before, Bendy and the Ink Machine was originally released in 5 chapters, 1 through 5. Each has their own sort of story that obviously ties into the overall plot, so there's kind of a lot to take in during one playthrough. This book is going to help me with that. It has a ton of hidden lore, secrets to find, and tips on how to beat each monster. So this won't just be me playing the game. I'll be talking about some of the lore, explaining what things are, and showing you a bunch of secrets. To give a little context, we play as Henry as he revisits the old demons of his past by traveling deep into the abandoned animation workshop of Joey Drew Studios, a studio with a dark history. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure you know the story by now, so let's enter the studio.
All right, Joey, I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
The game begins with a letter from Joey Drew himself to us, Henry. It's been 30 years since we left the studio, but Joey has something to show us, so he invites us back. Of course, we oblige and enter our old workshop. Upon entering, I was immediately shocked by the yellow tint that covered my screen, but I came to enjoy it as it's a part of the game's identity. My first objective is to discover Joey's secret, search the workshop. So as I wander, I came across my old desk. A lot has changed since Henry has been here. One of the first things you can find is bacon soup. What is this? Bacon soup? This stuff is everywhere. Briar Label Company stocked Joey Drew Studios with an endless supply of free soup as a thank you for their licensing agreement. The soup itself is made from a secret traditional family recipe and tastes just like the stuff your mom used to make. The soup will heal me if I eat it, so it's important that I keep an eye out for it. The handbook tells me to follow the overhead signs until I come to the Ink Machine room. I'll need to power the lift by collecting and inserting 2 dry cells. These batteries are located to the left inside the trunk and on the shelf. So I insert them and up came the Ink Machine as if it was rising from the ashes. Ooh, it's the Ink Machine. This machine is the latest in artistic technology, custom created in conjunction with Gent Corporation, just for Joey Drew Studios. It churns out high-grade, fine-quality ink and pumps it through the studio like a steady beating heart. This ink is not just used for drawing, but also creating usable, life-size productions of anything you can think of. In other words, the ink from the machine can create life-size living ink monsters, both with human souls and without. But I'll talk about that later. Now, the book tells me to fix the machine. It needs to be repaired. To do this, I need to head to the power station room and gather 6 items: a gear, bendy doll, book, ink jar, record, and a wrench. Of course, the handbook tells me exactly where they're all located. By the way, I'm reading this book as I play. Gear, return to the ink machine room and open the chest to the left of the— oh, I forgot there's a map. Yes, this book also gives me a map for each chapter, so I never get lost. This game has a lot of cheap yet simple jump scares, but I kinda like them because it's Bendy. Are you gonna attack me? Surely not. So it says that— oh, I asked if you were gonna attack me. The first creepy scene of the game comes from a life-sized Boris the Wolf. Dude, this is like some sacrificial ritual stuff. Dude, this is crazy. This is already miles above Garden of Banban. Oh my, I can't— there's an invisible wall. So after placing all the objects, I head to the theater and turn on the ink pressure valve. Then I return to the power station and flip the switch. Yeah, lots of back and forth. Run in, and run in, and— a lot of backtracking I've noticed. Oh my god. What? Hello? After flipping said switch, the book warns me of some inky footprints leading to the ink machine. It will be boarded up and Bendy will present himself. But I still somehow got jump scared even though I knew it was coming. Oh wait. The book did say footprints. It's boarded up. Oh my god! I'm chased back to the entrance where I fall through the floor. This was Bendy, well, the demon version of him. Per the book, he's a mischievous little devil that started it all. He is the face of Joey Drew Studios, a playful little fellow that can get up to some naughty antics. He is a star, the biggest cartoon character currently in production. So yeah, this is Bendy, the main man. The little fucker will jump scare me all throughout the game. Oh my god. After falling, I'm tasked with draining all the ink. After doing so, I'm told to pick up an axe from the table. Ooh, the book has like lore implications behind the axe. Wait, that's actually cool. The book gives an explanation as to why we find axes throughout the studio. It's for emergencies in case you need to clear a path to an exit, or you know, to kill an intruder. I love this detail. It's not just a random axe, it has a reason for being there. Small details like this make such a big difference. This is a recurring thing throughout every chapter. The book has an explanation for almost everything. It's impressive and shows the devs care. Everything makes sense, as it should, unlike other games. Garden of Banban. Not even gonna hit the button. Oh my god. This is one of the biggest pieces of dog shit. So with this axe, I clear the board and enter the ritual room. Oh, the dancing demon. Whoa. Wait, am I a part of the ritual? Yes, I am. Henry just walked into a ritual. Why? Why was there a ritual in a cartoon studio? It'll all make sense later on. Chapter 2, of course, picks up right where Chapter 1 left off. My directions are to grab the axe, clear the door in front of me, and enter the next room. Immediately, things feel dark. The atmosphere is a lot more sinister, with candles everywhere, coffins, and more ritual circles. Something ain't right.
Love requires sacrifice. Can I get an amen?
Amen, brother.
I said, can I get an amen?
Whoa, what? I said amen, brother. As I progress forward, I see an inky figure, Sammy Lawrence. I'll talk about him more in a moment. My next objective is to redirect power to the gate. To do this, I'll need to flip 2 switches. While doing this, I noticed the bendy cutouts I was destroying would come right back. Wait, it's back. I just destroyed that. It's back. Something fishy's going on. Whoa, maybe we shouldn't meddle with supernatural cardboard cutouts. Maybe that's a little above my pay grade. Okay. Okay. The book mentions this, but gives no explanation as to why. But it's pretty obvious. It's because of the ritual circle they're in. With the switches flipped, I raise the gate and enter the music department. This is where the studio records their voice lines, sound effects, and music for the cartoons. The music director, Sammy Lawrence, oversees everything here to ensure it's expertly produced from start to finish. He runs a tight shift too, no loud shoes, no whistling, humming, or gum chewing by the music department. The music work here is serious. Things need to be quiet to avoid any re-recording. My next objective is to drain the stairwell. First, I need to turn on the power. When doing so, I'm attacked by the searchers. The book tells me 1 hit directly to the head will take them out instantly, but 5 hits from them will kill me. So it suggests I funnel them into a doorway and walk backwards while I swing. This is something I will do a lot while fighting enemies. The book also mentions a secret pool room, so that's cool. Oh, so you can actually like play pool. Wait, that's so cool. I'm gonna hit this ball in. I can't leave until I sink 1. I gotta sink 1.
3 hours later.
Here we go. There it is. Yes. After fighting the searchers, a gate to the left of the main area will open. This leads me to Sammy's office. However, an ink leak is blocking it. If I listen to this audio log, it hints that Wally Frank's missing keys are in one of the trash bins in the area. Thankfully, the book also tells me this. Okay, I found the keys. Let's go. These keys unlock a closet with an audio log that gives me my next objective. Find Sammy's sanctuary by playing his favorite song. So this is sort of the first major puzzle in the game, and it was definitely challenging. I don't understand this at all. Am I missing something? Or in an order of a song, but I don't see anything about a song. Brother, what is even, like, what? Dude, this is The game doesn't do a good job at explaining what you're supposed to do, and neither does the book. The game literally gives no hints, like at all, while the book sort of does. It tells you to activate the projector upstairs, then go down and interact with the instruments in Sammy's song in the correct order. When I read this, I was like, what is Sammy's song? Well, it's the instruments Sammy mentions back from his tape in the closet. I think I know what to do now. Bass, violin, banjo, drum. Okay, that was like the first major puzzle of the game, I think. That was pretty bad. The game is good. Okay, don't come at me about this in the comments, but that was really bad. That puzzle was like terribly explained. Maybe it's just me for not paying attention, but that was pretty bad. I did not enjoy that at all. That was a bad puzzle. So yeah, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the audio tape, but regardless, the game made no attempt to hint that this tape is significant in any way. You could argue it's significant because it was locked behind a door. However, these tapes haven't helped with any puzzle in any way before, so why would I expect them to now? The book barely helped too. There are definitely ways to make this a lot simpler, but whatever. I'll just chalk it up to my stupidity and short attention span. The handbook directs me to the room that just opened, where I can turn the valve that will help drain the ink from the stairs. Remember that? The ink from the stairs? Yeah, this was all just for that, and it's only the first one. But while I was in this room, I thought I was starting to lose my mind because of all the voices. You guys hear those voices too, right? I'm then warned that Sammy Lawrence will be watching me as I leave, but not without a Bendy jump scare. The searchers attack me, but of course I use the tips from the book and take them out no problem. Okay, so I have to funnel them through. Oh my god, don't hit me. Funnel, I'm funneling. Is he still up there watching? He is. Come get some, bruh. Okay, it's the second valve. We saw the second valve downstairs in the infirmary, but the valve itself is missing. You'll need to travel down to ceiling shaft 9 after spending the search in the infirmary. Pull the lever. Wowzers. Yeah, lots of reading. So like I said, the book tells me I need to find the second valve. This is downstairs in utility shaft 9. These shafts move the ink all throughout the facility. At the bottom, we can spot Sammy's shadow. Ooh, he's always watching. Menacingly.
He's just standing there. Menacingly!
While down here, I run into Swollen Jack, also known as Jack Fane. He worked down here before he was turned into this monster from the ink. So the book fills me in on how to get the valve from him. I outsmart and crush him, taking the valve and head back up. Thankfully, the book really made this part easy. Ooh, okay. Now I think if I just drop this. Yep. Nice. So that was actually made easy with this book. He's gone. You're gone now too, buddy. So I turn the second valve, return to Sammy's office, and drain the ink from the stairs. Finally. But then Sammy knocks me out. Now we go to the stairs. Oh.
Rest your head. It's time for bed.
Oh, he just clobbered us. Upon awakening, I'm tied up, as Sammy explains he plans to sacrifice me to Demon Bendy in an attempt to free himself from his inky dark body. His words, not mine. He also mentions seeing us before. Keep this in mind. Damn, he got them dogs slapping on the floor. However, this plan backfires when Bendy instead attacks Sammy. I then free myself and fight off more searchers. The book tells me to break the boards and head into the alcove. On the right, you can see the ink machine going down. Oh, the ink machine's going down. What does that mean? From here, Bendy will appear as ink floods the room and he chases me. The book tells me to stay ahead of him and eventually I will come to a room. However, this did not happen. I did, in fact, stay ahead of him, but I guess he caught up to me. I just die? I gotta move. Am I dead right now? Is this a light at the end of the tunnel? What's happening? Looks like I'm in a butt. I'm crawling out of Bendy's butt. This was my first death. I then proceeded to die again and again. Oh my god, I died. Wait, so I did die. I can't run any faster. Like, what's happening? The AI is just faster than me. What's happening? But finally, I did manage to make it through the correct path. Maybe I go this way? Okay, I don't know. I think I only died there because I took the wrong path. So it's like one path you go, you automatically die, and then the other one is the right path? I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, it seemed like there was only one correct path. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad, but the chase was kinda mediocre. Regardless, it was still cool. I really like how the ink fills the room around you when he's near. After the chase, the chapter comes to an end as I meet Boris. Is this Boris?
Someone there? I know you're in here. Come out and show yourself.
The book says it's Boris.
Boris?
My only issue with chapter 2 is the first major puzzle. Holy fuck. Damn, I just stuttered like crazy. My only issue with chapter 2 was the first major puzzle. Other than that, it was great. It really upped everything from chapter 1. Alright, chapter 3. So far, not bad. So far, I am actually really enjoying this. As you heard, I was enjoying the game so far. Besides a few little things, overall my experience has been great. Leave the safe house. There's like a lot to this game. This book that I'm looking at while I play is dense. There's a ton of stuff in here. I won't lie, it's a little overwhelming, but we're getting through it. Because of how hefty this book is, maybe reading it while playing wasn't the best idea, but like I said, we're getting through it. So chapter 3, this is where we kind of shift our focus to Boris. Every animated character needs a best pal, and Bendy has one in Boris the Wolf. Now, Boris isn't quite as bright as Bendy, so he often ends up with the short end of the stick in Bendy's schemes. Regardless, Boris stays loyal to his friends, as long as they don't come between him and his lunch. His name comes from an extinct Bulgar language, where it meant wolf. So Boris is Bendy's cartoon friend, his right-hand man, kind of. Now we wake up in a safe house where Boris takes refuge. Bro literally just chills here all day and eats bacon soup. Must be nice. Whoa. Boris, do you have something you wanna say, buddy? Maybe you should talk to somebody about the thoughts you're having? The door to this place is missing a lever. The book states that Boris will give it to me if I make him bacon soup. It also tells me the locations of the cans. So I make him the soup and he gives me the lever. I made this just for you with love. But before I leave, the book informs me to grab a bone that can be found next to a chest in Boris's room. I can give it to Boris and he will chew on it for the entire game. Pretty cool little Easter egg. So the book says that I can give this bone to him and he'll chew on it. Ooh. That's actually cool. Okay. My next objective is to enter the darkness, find a flashlight, and wander through the dark hall with Boris. But I need to make sure I keep the light on him or else he will get scared and stop moving. Don't be scared. You have a bone. While doing this, I managed to somehow break the game. I paused to read, and when I unpaused, the pause screen was still up. However, I was able to move around. Oh my god, the game's bugged. I unpaused and my screen is, what's happening? My game's bugged right now. I'm hitting enter and nothing's happening. It's like unpaused, but I can move. How do I always manage to break these games? I have to close the game. I can't do anything. Oh man, hopefully that saved. Please save. Okay, saved. We're good. Note to self, don't pause the game. Yeah, I don't know how I managed to always break these games. To fix this, I had to force close the game and reload in. Luckily, I didn't lose any progress. Next, Boris and I make it to the Heavenly Toys room. Ooh, wow. This is cool.
I don't remember any of this.
Dude, this is sick. Dude, this game, I love this game's like attention to detail. To progress, I need to fix the toy machine that's blocking a path. So I did that. Yeah, not much here, but we did get an audio log from Jacksepticeye. Is that Jacksepticeye? Bro's in every mascot horror game ever made. Now, there's an ink blob on this desk, and the book tells me to interact with it until it's either the ink machine or Boris. I chose Boris, and you'll see why later on. Following this room, I briefly met a new character. My gosh. My god. Mommy? I'm joking. I can already tell, dude, there's probably not safe for work art related to her. Oh, I don't even want to look, man. This is Alice the Angel. She's a cartoon character with charm and brains. When Bendy is up to something, Alice is there to straighten him out. She was the first female character the studio made. She sings, she dances, and she's sharp. Maybe a little too sharp. Following Alice's temper tantrum, the book tells me to turn left and walk through. This takes me to a fork in the road, and both hold their own significance. The demon and the angel. So apparently both sides are an achievement. Both are different. The right side is is an audio from Susie Campbell, and the left side is one from Joey Drew. Of course, you know, we ain't bitches here, right? I ain't no wimp, so I'm going the demon. Because I'm not scared. After making my choice, I get a little spook from Bendy again. Now, what are the odds I get jump scared here? Oh my god, I knew it. I literally knew it, dude. I called it.
Boris.
Oh, Boris. Did Boris just do that to me with the Bendy thing? I'm on to you, Boris. Wait, it is confirmed in the book that he just jump scared me. I just read that. Boris. What the hell, man? Boris then hands me a pipe and I spill coffee on my desk. Oh, I just spilled coffee all over my desk, dude. In the next room, Boris and I need to flip 2 switches at the same time. However, I ran into Charlie from the Butcher Gang. The book informs me I'll need to hit this enemy 6 times to defeat him. So apparently I'm gonna fight a guy here. Oh my god. Wow, he almost just killed me. The book also tells me to head into another corridor. And again, I can see the ink machine going down. Oh, it's going down again. Why does it keep going down? Okay, I've noticed a theme with all these games is the darkness lies below, right? But what if the darkness was above? They should make a horror game where everything is on the top layer. So we start below and then we go up.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So Boris and I flip the switches and take an elevator down to Alice. She wants to go on a date with me, so of course, that's where I'm headed.
Looks like you've got a date with an angel. Come to me now.
A date. Yo, we have a date. Let's go. First date ever. While making our way to her, we run into multiple clones of Boris and Charlie, the weird looking thing from before. Each one of these clones was sacrificed to make Alice beautiful and more perfect, as she said herself. I make my way across the room, and here I can find an audio log from Susie Campbell. It's revealed through audio logs and stuff that she eventually became Alice. There's kind of a lot to this, but I'll sort of touch on it later. I know I keep saying that, but just trust me, okay? Everything will make sense. Kind of.
Who would have thought?
Wait, that's her.
Having lunch with Joey Drew.
That's her voice. Oh, that's her. And in the book, I can see the receipts from the diners. Oh my god, this next page is so much reading, bro. I finally run into Alice. She explains how she became the way she is, and says she'll let me leave if I perform various errands for her.
It made me an angel. I will not let the demon touch me again.
Yeah, she's definitely not right in the head, but I can't really blame her considering the whole, you know, soul into ink thing. Anyways, this is sort of where chapter 3 loses me. It's quite literally just as she said. We run errands for her. It's a bunch of go there, get this, bring it back, rinse and repeat. You do this like 4 or 5 times. It's pretty repetitive and clearly just filler. This one part is like my only major flaw with the entire game of all 5 chapters. I'm just not a fan of it. But I did run into the ink demon a few times. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. He came out while I was in the ink. Nah, that's crazy. And I also got the famous plunger. Ooh, a plunger. We're a janitor now. Nice. One of the tasks Alice has me do is to destroy all the Bendy cutouts with the axe. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious that this is filler, like seriously. But to prove that, even during this part, I was still following the book. I, in fact, walked all the way back through the level and started from the very beginning to find all the Bendy cutouts, just like the book tells me to do. So I've backtracked the entire level, just like the handbook said. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, oh my god, the ink demon. It'd be kind of cool if he walked by me. Oh, he is going to. He kind of looks like a wet turd. Oh yeah, and at one point, Boris was shivering in his boots. Bro, relax. It ain't that scary, cuh. There is a secret axe you can find that the book tells you about, but I won't grab it till later. After completing most of the errands for Alice, we can finally move on with the chapter. Nice, a freaking Tommy gun. And it's gone. So there is a way you can actually get this, but I wasn't able to do so. Remember the ink blob from before? Well, while reading the book at that point, I guess I just completely missed the part of turning it into the ink machine rather than Boris. The ink machine plus everything I did, going through the demon part and not dying, would have all gotten me the gun, but I stupidly turned it into Boris. In my defense, the book doesn't reveal some of these secrets until after the fact. So yeah, that's kinda lame. Regardless, it's a huge L on my part. I didn't read the book beforehand, I'm reading it as I go because that's what made the most sense to me. If the book is going to help me, obviously I'm going to read it while I play. So yeah, luckily that's the only big secret that wasn't directly told upfront in the book. I feel like at this part it should definitely say, do this if you want the Tommy gun later on. Despite all of that, I actually think the secret axe was beneficial over the gun. You see, my next task is to find 5 ink hearts. Oh, wouldn't you know, more errands. Nice. Boris and I take the elevator down to level 14, where the projectionist resides. To find the hearts, I can either sneak around him or just take him out. I ain't no bitch, so obviously I'ma take him out. The book explains how the gent pipe defeats him in 72 hits, the Tommy gun in 16, and the axe in 8. So, with the axe, I quickly took him out. And I'm gonna train him around this. You got him. Nice. Okay. That was easy. Alright, let's find these hearts, I guess. Yeah, super easy with the axe, no complaints here. I'm definitely not coping about not having the gun. Anyways, the book tells me where each heart is, I grab them, head back up, and deliver them to Alice. Whew, yeah. I expect a nice tip because this entire chapter has been just me running around delivering things. Is this a new horror DoorDash game, or is this Bendy in the ink machine? Alice instructs Boris and I to ascend back up, however she accuses me of stealing Boris from her. She wants to use him to make her even more beautiful. Again, her words, not mine. So she causes the elevator to instead go down and it crashes. If I jump, I won't take damage. It's the elevator thing. If you jump when it's crashing, you know, you don't take damage. Behind you, Boris! Behind you! Turn around.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Oh nah, bro's dead. Boris tries to wake me up in a panic as Alice grabs him, taking him away, ending chapter 3. This chapter is the longest out of all 5, and like I said before, this chapter felt like a lot of filler. In my opinion, it's definitely the weakest one of them all. It wasn't necessarily bad, just a little boring. Luckily, it actually gets better. Chapter 4 is when we start to learn about the downfall of Joey Drew Studios. In the book, we are shown overdue bills and tax letters. It informs me to head into the archives, but the door is locked, so I need to find the valve. I do this and unlock a secret room, where the book specifically says inside this room is a can of bacon soup and the Meatly, the game's creator. But he's not here. I don't see the Meatly. Okay. Well, secret room, unlocked. To reveal nothing. I don't know, I guess I was expecting like a plush or something. There's just nothing here. Upon entering the archives, I'm met by the Lost Ones. Friendly-ish ink figures. After solving a few puzzles to progress, I watch the ink machine descend even further. Ooh, it's going down again. I then hear Alice, and she suggests I hurry up to find Boris, as he's having trouble staying in one piece. That's sort of my goal for this chapter, find and save Boris. Eventually, I make my way into a room filled with the Lost Ones again. They were once people, now lost souls, trapped in the ink, always in a state of despair. They're not hostile until later on. So I make my way into this vent. The book tells me to turn right twice to make it out. This brings me to level S, storage 9, where Bendy land is revealed. field. This was a failed amusement park designed to keep up with the changing times. It was, of course, themed around Bendy and the studio's other animated creations. The mission behind it was to bring dreams to everyday life. This entire game is an evil adaptation of Disney. I love it. Now, I've kind of skipped over a lot of the beginning of this chapter because most of it is just switching levers and opening doors. Even in this Bendyland room, you flip a switch to progress, so you're not really missing much. However, this next room is super cool. It's filled with some of the Bendyland attractions. Games and rides like Strength Testers, Bottle Wall Op, I think that's how you pronounce it, Bullseye Bonanza, and more. The book tells me I need to, oh, wouldn't you know, flip switches to power the haunted house so I can progress. So, to power the first switch, I'll need to win the carnival games. First, Strength Tester. Apparently, I'm very weak. What's happening? What? Oh, I got it. Next is the bottle game, where I guess I'm still very weak and can't throw the ball correctly. What? What was that throw? Oh my god, this is gonna be painful. Like, what is that? Why is it not throwing it? Throughout the game, I've been playing with no crosshair, and I prefer this way. It definitely immerses me more. But for this mini game, I had to turn it on because I just couldn't aim without it. Okay, so we got the crosshair on. Like, well, I don't know why it's... What? What is this game, dude? After a few more failed attempts, I finally figured out how to actually throw the ball with power. Okay, so I had to do it when it was low. Oh man, that was kind of The last game is Bullseye Bonanza. Pretty easy, just shoot the targets. All that out of the way, and I'm able to power the first switch. This opened the research and design room, leading to the second switch. Inside is the Butcher Gang. The book tells me to throw empty cans to distract them so I can sneak by. I do this and power the first switch. A Bendy animatronic can also be seen. With two switches now on, the third door opens, leading to attraction storage. This room and encounter was actually really cool. We meet Bertram, the creator of all these rides and games, but subsequently he became one of his own creations. He now inhabits this ride. The book tells me tips on how to defeat it. Use the axe to hit the glowing joints. Once all his limbs are gone, he will then be defeated. Later, loser. That wasn't too bad. That was pretty cool. I like that. With that complete, I powered the switch, went back, and turned it on. The last door opens, and this switch is guarded by the projectionist. The book tells me how to quickly get around him. Go right, turn on the lift, then go up and hit the power switch. The projectionist will then vanish. However, upon leaving, he comes back and chases me into a hiding spot. I then watch as Bendy comes in and destroys him. Oh, right hook, left hook. Damn, he ripped his head off. I'm not in here. Nope. That was kind of cool. With all switches finally complete, I power the haunted house. Up next is the final boss battle of chapter 4. Yes, this entire chapter was just flipping switches. The book gives me a tip to go back to the area with the projectionist and search the chest at the top. Inside, I receive a special dial with the plunger on it. I can use this instead of the pipe to fight. You can also use empty cans. I tried to do this one, but it didn't work. I don't want to talk about it. So I head inside the haunted house, which gives me my next objective: defeat Boris. Alice has turned him into a monster, but he still has the bone. He still has the bone. That's funny. This area is super clean and I love all the details. However, this battle is extremely underwhelming. The book breaks it down pretty well, but I'll sum it up. There are 3 stages. First, Boris will charge at you, then jump at you, then he'll throw carts at you. Throughout all of this, he'll stop and bleed ink. While this happens, I need to collect said ink and use it to make the plunger. I'll need to do this with each stage and I can only hit him while he's bleeding. The battle starts out just fine, but then it kinda, well, just watch. What is bro doing? I know he's supposed to get the cart, but just look at him. Okay, this is kind of cheesy. Like, this is kind of painful. I gotta sit here and wait for him to slowly walk over and grab the cart, to then slowly walk back and throw it at me. Like, what? Oh man. Yeah, super underwhelming like I said. Maybe it was just my game, but he walked extremely slow to grab the cards. This completely took away any sort of tense or scared feeling I had while playing. I could have gotten up and grabbed a drink before he ended up throwing the card at me. I could have even ran more errands during that time for Alice if she needed me to. So yeah, the battle was kind of ruined, but whatever. I end up defeating Boris as he fades away. Here we go. Ah! Got it.
Oh, no. No.
Boris. Filled with anger, Alice runs up to me only to get stabbed in the back by another Alice and Boris. That ends chapter 4. Overall, chapter 4 is better than chapter 3, even if it was just flipping switches in different rooms. Kind of repetitive, but that's okay because the game gives you a ton of areas to explore, and these areas hold significance in terms of the lore. So while I'm exploring, I'm understanding more of the story. Lore is not just being thrown at me from notes or videotapes. My only big issue was the lackluster boss fight, but at least there was one. Chapter 5 opens with an over 5-minute sort of cutscene. I wake up to find myself locked in a cell after being saved by Alice and Tom, two characters that met while working at Joey Juice Studios. They fell in love and got married. Coincidentally, Tom rescued Alice while they were here. How romantic that they're still together even in the ink machine, stuck here in an ink hell for the rest of time. The book shows off some of their wedding stuff. So they're unsure if they can trust me, that's why I'm locked up. Well, that and tax evasion. Alice likes me, but Tom doesn't. He won't even let me eat. After sitting here for over 5 minutes, Alice finally gives me this seeing tool. It reveals hidden messages that will help guide me along the way. I take a few more naps and wake up to Alice yelling at Tom for alerting the ink demon of our location. So then they just leave me for dead. They don't unlock the gate or anything. Thank you so much, guys. I use the seeing tool to locate a hidden room, grab a pipe, and escape. The book informs me of using the seeing tool to discover a hidden message warning me of something in the river. But I'm fearless, so I hop on the boat and continue forward. This is not water, it's a river of ink. It will periodically cause my boat to get stuck, so I would have to unclog it, that way I don't get destroyed by the massive hand. Oh my god, the hand. This brings me to the Lost Harbor. Sammy Lawrence jumps out at me and tries to kill me with an axe. Eventually, I knock his mask off to reveal nothing.
Nothing?
This could be symbolizing how his identity is Bendy. That's why he's always wearing the mask. Without Bendy, he is nothing. That's why he worships him. Or I'm way overcomplicating it. It probably means nothing. He tries to kill me one last time. However, Tom and Alice save me again. But he likes me now. A big fight takes place. The book fills me in on how many hits it takes to kill each enemy. But I kinda just went crazy and ended up dying. Oh, I just got 2 hit. My new friends and I continue, but I end up falling and land outside of administration. This is where the company handles most of the behind the scenes stuff like stocking items, job postings, company relations, and managing paperwork. Unfortunately, this area is, again, obvious filler. The book tells me I need to obtain missing pipes in order to drain the passage to the film vault. That's my next location. So to do this, I need to use the ink to make the correct shaped pipes. But of course, this inkwell is located all the way in the back of administration, and the butcher gang is roaming the area. So one by one, I need to head inside, get the ink, run back, and use the ink maker to make the pipe, all while being chased by these guys. Wait, I'm gonna have to go back and get all 3? What? They're just chasing me! Oh my... Brother, what? I have to do this 3 times? Oh my god. After I died a few times, I realized the book gave me a map which made it so much easier. It's pretty clear the game wants you to hide from these guys, but it doesn't work. Oh, this is gonna be annoying, man. And sneaking by them would take forever, so I ended up just ignoring them completely and sprinting around them. Each time I grabbed the ink, I would have to run all the way back to the ink pool to get them off me, something the book gives a tip about. So the book does help out a lot here, but overall this part is just filler because of how tedious it is. Oh man, you can tell when like something is filler. This part is definitely filler. However, we do see Joey Juice Studios' office. Notice how the chair is gone. Audio logs reveal he lured Susie here to use her for Alice, and the first time he made Bendy using the ink machine. It's some pretty heavy lore stuff, honestly. After all that running back and forth, I finally enter the film vault. This is where all of Joey Juice's films are kept. Over 15 years of episodes are stored here. The book shows off each one, it's pretty cool. While searching the vault, Alice and Tom walk in. I tell them Ink Bendy has something I need. The last reel, but it's inside his lair. So they decide to help me once again. As we go deeper, things look familiar, and we can even see Ink Bendy wandering the facility. Oh yeah, and Boris still has the bone. Turning the last corner brings us to the ink machine. This is where it's been going all this time. Now, Alice and Tom can't make it across because they're not like me. They don't have a soul. If they touch the ink, they get lost in it, disappearing like a drop of water in the ocean. So I go alone. Here lies Bendy's lair, with Joey's chair taken from his office. I play an audio tape that fills me in on what's been going on, as well as how to defeat Bendy. Play the last reel. But before I can, Bendy transforms into Beast Bendy and throws me. The boss battle begins. The book does a good job at explaining how to defeat him. There are 3 stages. A maze with switches to unlock the next door, all while Bendy is running the halls. The seeing tool can help locate each switch. Stage 2, where Bendy needs to run into each pipe. The glass will hurt him, I guess. Stage 3, insert the ending reel. This puts an end to Bendy's story, subsequently ending Ink Demon Bendy as well. Overall, this final boss battle was fine. It just wasn't really anything special. I don't really have any complaints about it. It was pretty straightforward. It's just not very memorable, but it was good, simple and effective. This takes me to the ending of the game. I come into Joey's very own apartment. On the shelf are items from chapter 1, letters from past employees with unpaid bills and such, concepts of Bendyland, and a storyboard from different story beats of chapters 1 through 5. All of this stuff hints that what just happened was a story. I enter the kitchen and Joey speaks to me.
Henry, so soon. I didn't expect you for another hour yet. Now you're just trying to impress me. But I know. You have questions. You always do. The only important question is this. Who are we, Henry? I thought I knew who I was. But the success starved me. Nothing left but lines on a page. In the end, we followed 2 different roads of our own making. You, a lovely family. Me, a crooked empire. And my road burned. I let our creations become my life. The truth is, you were always so good at pushing, old friend. Pushing me to do the right thing. You should have pushed a little harder. Henry, come visit the old workshop. There's something I need to show you.
All right, Joey. I'm here. Let's see if we can find what you wanted me to see.
After the credits roll, the camera pans to a picture. You can see the ink machine in Joey's garage. We also hear a little girl while the camera is panning to show us a picture of Bendy, Boris, and Alice with a note from Henry.
Tell me another one, Uncle Joey.
This ends Bendy and the ink machine. Okay, that's the ending of Bendy and the ink machine. Overall, fantastic game. I could definitely tell when there was filler though. There's definitely a few spots where there's like some unnecessary filler, but overall great game, like great world. This is a huge difference from my last video. The band games, those are freaking horrible. This huge step up, huge breath of fresh air for me. Yeah, overall great game. I wasn't really like annoyed by anything or pissed off. There was only a few spots that were kind of like yeah, pretty good. I am pleasantly surprised I enjoyed that experience. It was a great game. So, what does it all mean? It's important to keep in mind this ending and the story is sort of up for interpretation, but this is what I gathered from playing and the book. Henry and Joey started this studio together, but Henry was the one that actually designed Bendy. Over time, Henry ended up leaving the studio to live a happy life with his wife, meaning Joey continued on his own. The studio was successful, however, as time went on and trends started to change, Joey tried to adapt by creating Bendyland. But of course, hazardous work environments, harassment, and a lack of money caused Bendyland to fail and send Joey Drew Studios into bankruptcy. In an attempt to gain it all back, Joey turned to the ink machine to make something the world had never seen before: living cartoons made of ink. This would surely bring the company back financially, as these were not just humans in suits, but the actual characters brought to life. However, the ink machine not only created the cartoons, but the entire world they lived in, and Joey Drew Studios was at the center of it. The big problem was these cartoons were missing something that would give them their identity: a soul. So Joey would lure back his old employees to sacrifice them, giving the cartoons a soul. The lost ones are failed attempts, but these cartoons lacking a soul wasn't the only issue. Bendy had turned into the ink demon. Joey needed him gone, so this is where we come in. He lured Henry back into the studio and sacrificed him into the ink machine in hopes we would finally destroy Bendy. At least I think we're in the ink machine. The game is kind of vague about that. Remember, this world is a cartoon, meaning once it's over, it restarts. An endless loop of Henry entering this world and stopping Bendy. That's why the game's ending was at the beginning, and the secret writing we see when replaying the game are from Henry, notes he left to himself because he's in an endless loop. Everything I just said was an entire story told by Joey to his niece. That's why we hear her voice at the end, meaning everything I just played is a story from Joey, a self-reflection turned into a story to help him cope with his failed studio. Or maybe it was all real. I don't know, that's why it's up for interpretation. Whew, okay, yeah, that's my overall understanding of the story. There's obviously a ton more lore, but that's just my gist of it. So yeah, I think I was able to complete the game just how Joey Drew Studios wanted me to using this handbook. It was fun and a lot better game than something else I played before.
Prepare for a little surgery.
Impeccable voice acting. Cinema. This book also includes the Dark Revival, so maybe I'll do this for that game as well. Let me know if you want to see that by giving this video a like and letting me know in the comments below. If you enjoy content like this, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching.
Back to the old grind.
Back to the old grind. Walking in for a JOB.